How did I start Adorn Me Africa? Adorn Me Africa was a result of the shuttering of another business that I had started and me trying to figure out what what I was going to do because I knew in my heart that entrepreneurship was my thing. It was my calling. It was the thing that I know that I was purposed to do. Like I had no doubt. I've never had any doubt about that. It's in my blood. But I think that it was really, it was, I like, even in my previous venture, it wasn't like the thing that I was focused on. It wasn't something that I was like authentically passionate about. It was just a need that I saw that I wanted to fulfill, and I wanted to do that through this business. But with Adorn Me Africa, it it was like bound in a passion that I've had for my culture and for my connection to Ghana and to Africa. And so like it just happened really organically for me. It wasn't this like really toiled start. It happened, it grew organically. Got to meet designers and creatives really organically when I was in Ghana, and I got to talk to them and hear about their stories and hear about their pain points and hear about how they needed support. And so Adorn Me Africa really was birthed out of a desire to highlight and to support African creatives. And so that is the underlying mission and reason and our why, um, that really drives everything that we do. My inspiration behind Adorn Me Africa and my brand was my love for travel, my appreciation for nature, my appreciation for my country, Ghana, and just and my passion for business. I think all of those things kind of marry together with timing, with perfect timing, um, in order to create Adorn Me Africa. I really didn't do a whole lot of planning and strategizing at the start of it. I just had conversations. I had coffee with designers and we just spoke and we just got to know each other. And it was really birthed from a really organic place, of just desiring to know a perspective that I was not familiar or exposed to. And that curiosity kind of grew Adorn Me Africa into this this amazing adventure and an opportunity to highlight and to push African brands, um, as they're pushing themselves and just kind of aiding in that process. COVID. Ugh, okay, so at the beginning of COVID, I was like kind of in this, should I continue the business? Should I let it go? Should I evolve it into something else? Because I didn't think that we were making the impact, and I wasn't able to dedicate enough time to the project as I wanted to. And so I was kind of in this space where I was just unsure. And then and I prayed about it. I spent a lot of time like praying and trying to figure out what the next steps were, whether or not we were going to to pivot, to quit, or to continue exactly how we were going. And so it was kind of the rebirth, if you will, of Adorn Me Africa, where we were able to really sit down and to think about our why and to think about what was our foundational reason for starting the company. And so because everything shut down, because I was working from home exclusively, because I was able to spend the time to think things through, to draw things out, to have this really big picture view of the company, um, I was able to plan and create from that perspective. And um, so that was like the initial effect of COVID on the business. And then it slowed down inventory coming from Africa. It slowed down, it raised the prices of shipping. Shipping is very, very, very costly coming from Africa into the US. And people don't necessarily think about that. And so that was a big effect that COVID had on Adorn Me Africa, where things slowed down. We weren't able to get shipments as readily and as quickly. And then we had, just funding delays and we weren't able, because of the cost of shipping, because of the hike that took place, we had to shift how we were spending. And so we kind of had to start, stripping things down and getting way more lean in our process. But in that process, like, we've also figured out, okay, this should be how we run. Like, this should be how we show up in the marketplace, where we are a leaner, more focused version of ourselves so that we can be the most effective and we can work with more vendors and we can affect more change and connect more people in the US with African brands. What did we do to stay in business? We pivoted and then we pivoted back. We evolved. We got back to the roots of the reason that we started Adorn Me Africa. Did a lot of praying, soul searching, and reflecting on the impact that we wanted to have, and the possibility and capability that we were able to accomplish that. And then we were just able to get this amazing opportunity from I Fund Women and American Express, and this grant money that they provided as Adorn Me Africa was a 100 Founder of Change recipient. And so that was, I guess, the biggest boost to the business during COVID, because we were just at a critical place with funding, and it just came like right on time. And so I'm still like reeling from that. I'm still so grateful, because I was like, how are we gonna fund this season? And like the check came. So it was really awesome. I would encourage other founders and other entrepreneurs who are in this incredible adventure of being an entrepreneur to not wait for someone to validate them. I think when I was coming up, um, I was looking for validation in all the wrong places. I knew I had a great idea. I knew I had something on my hands that I would need some time to develop, but I was a bit too dependent um, on looking for validation. And that's not the technical sense of validation, but sometimes if you aren't getting the applause that you feel like you need, that kind of puts some doubt in your mind. And so I really had to push past not everyone not being impressed, everyone not singing my praises, everyone not, no pun intended, everyone not getting it. Um, and that also helped me kind of develop my brand story and develop what my why was and develop what my focus was as a founder. But it also allowed me to kind of build my courage um, in knowing that, especially in a place where other people are not creating this thing that you're doing and you're kind of pioneering it. I think it's really important to be your own cheerleader and to celebrate the small wins and to not necessarily look for this big firework finish, but really kind of just taking these incremental steps and encouraging yourself and patting yourself on the back and celebrating yourself. And also just having some great friends around you that will celebrate your wins, even the small ones, because those are really important. I used to be the person, I was president of the club, of the person um, who would accomplish something and then just on to the next thing. And celebrating your wins, like you yourself, like throwing a party of one for yourself and acknowledging what you've been able to accomplish, whether that's I just started an LLC, I just got my paperwork in, celebrate that. Like, just take a minute to celebrate that win. And then when you get to the next thing and you accomplish that, celebrate that too. Literally, celebrating the wins is what I've learned and what I feel like is is what helps me and drives me in my purpose, because I'm able to see, the changes that are happening, the real time difference that I'm making in being the founder and the CEO of Adorn Africa, and not just running through it and going on to the next thing. So I think that that was really important. That was a really important lesson that I feel like I've learned um, just recently, really, just because I've just always been that person to just like done on to the next, like, and you don't value things enough when you look at things like that as well. You're not able to really capture the moment, um, the growth, the changes that happen when you're just on to the next thing. And so I think that's been really huge for me in the past year and now, to celebrate the wins, like celebrate the small wins. Don't just, push past them and get to the next thing. Really celebrate you, really celebrate yourself.